Everybody, if you've gotten an SEO audit done, which we've been talking about, or you know that there are some issues on your website that you need to have fixed, some technical issues on your website to have fixed, what should you do about it? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Exactly how you should go about getting those issues resolved and where you should be looking. My name is Atiba, and welcome to Traffic Keys. And if you're a business owner looking to drive more organic traffic to your website to boost your sales, then you are in the right place because that's exactly what I teach you how to do. So today we're jumping into this topic of there's so much stuff to do technically on my website. So I'm not talking about the content. I'm not talking about what's written there just yet. I'm talking about the technical stuff that needs to get done for my website to either be functional or that I had an audit done and it said that I had some problems. What do I need to do to get those things fixed? How do I get that stuff fixed? Well, guys, you're a small business owner, and I'm going to say this bluntly to you. Hire it out. Don't attempt to learn it. You've got too much other stuff to do. Don't attempt to learn it. Okay? Yes, you need to know that you have problems. Yes, you need to know what they are. Yes, you need to know on a high level how to communicate the problem that either the SEO report or however you know that you have a technical issue with your site. All right. However, you don't need to actually go out and figure out how to solve it. Okay. It's a waste of your time. You've got better things to do. So don't do it. Now, I say all that to say, and you're gonna say, okay, I'm not gonna do it, but how am I gonna find somebody and how am I gonna know who to trust and and I get that angst at the same time, which is what leads us into this world. Okay. It's what leads us into this world of learning some of these technical things and frustrating the mess out of ourselves trying to fix them because they have to get fixed, but we don't know who else to trust. Yeah, I understand that. And I'll be honest with you, you're going to have to get over that. And you're going to have to trust someone. And you're going to have to be prepared that they might fail and you might have to fire them. You're hiring a contractor. So it's not an employee. And if they're not doing their job, fire them quickly. Okay? There's an old saying, hire slow, fire fast. Yeah, they're contractors. Hire them quickly. Hire them slowly. So interview them well. Make sure that they seem competent. They can do the job. They can show you examples of when they've done it before. And then, yes, I'm sorry. And then if they aren't doing a good job, let them go. Josh, what do you mean? Do you do SEO? Are you asking if I personally do SEO? Yes, my agency does, if that's what you're asking, Josh. However, I'm saying as a small business owner, when you have technical issues, the thing that you should do is hire it out. And I'm going to teach you where to go to find the talent to hire it out. Because I've said to you guys before, don't hire an agency yet. It's not time. It is not time. Because I can tell you, if you go hire an agency, okay, to come in and do some SEO work for you, a good agency, you're going to spend several $1,000s to just get started. And if that's not where you are, it's not time yet. However, I also understand that you've got some problems that have to be solved and they need to be solved now. So how do you do it? We hire out. So I'm going to share with you guys 3 websites that you can go to find talent. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one of them and how they work. And I'm going to tell you that I use all 3 of these. I hire people from all 3 of these. Okay. So the first one, if you haven't heard of it before, is Upwork. That's upwork.com. And the link is in the description. Upwork.com. Upwork does a really great job. They have people who are local to the US and worldwide. So you can find someone in literally any country on the planet on Upwork. Typically, the people on Upwork are a little bit more professional. Okay. These are people who may have been working in an industry and lost their job and now are looking for side hustles or side work, or just to supplement their income. So typically, also with Upwork, you're going to pay a little bit more. You're going to get a slightly better quality person, and you're going to pay a little bit more per hour. And so how Upwork works is you sign up as an employer. It's free to sign up, and then you can post a job. So you write a description of what you're looking for. You can post a job, and when you post a job, people will find it and they will respond to you. And then you can start the correspondence back and forth to filter out and find who you like and who you actually want to interview, often over Zoom or a phone call. Okay. So you ask a bunch of questions as they're coming back in and seeing who's answering, who's not. One pro tip when you're doing this type of interviewing is in your job description. Okay. In your job description, make sure to ask them questions. Always make sure to ask questions in your job description. Like, for example, I just posted a job for a video editor, and I asked, two of the questions I asked is, what do you love about editing video? And then the second question I ask is, what do you dislike about editing video? So I asked those two questions. Then I asked a third question, but I put it in the middle of my entire job post, right? In the middle of a paragraph in my entire job post. And if they don't answer my three questions in their response, I automatically delete them. Automatically. Because one, you didn't listen, or two, you don't follow instructions. Period. Dot. You're done. Okay. So and I've been doing that for years. So that's a tip I'll give you that I actually heard a good friend of mine, Qasim, talking about yesterday as well. Something that I've been doing for a very long time, putting those questions in there, making sure that they answer the question. So anyway, so this is Upwork. Again, that's how they kind of work. You post your job, people will then respond to your job, and then you can communicate back and forth with them. Okay. Upwork is, like I said, really great at finding you professional people from all walks of life around the world. The next one that I'm going to share with you guys is Fiverr. And Fiverr kind of got a bit of a bad rap, I guess it was a lot of years ago, and is doing better now. It's honestly, my experience with Fiverr is it's been kind of hit or miss. The thing that frustrates me about Fiverr is that you, as the employer, you've got to search and go through all the resumes in order to find someone. And then you have to message them and say, hey, I need XYZ. And half the time they respond to you and say, I'm too busy right now. Check back another time. Now, the thing with Fiverr, though, is the talent on here is usually less expensive than Upwork. Okay. Great for one-time type of projects, usually less expensive than Upwork, but it's more work on you, the employer, to go through all of these different profiles to figure out who you want to talk to. Versus on Upwork, they allow you to post your job, and people who are interested in your job respond to you, much like a traditional job board. Okay. So that's Fiverr and Upwork, both very different. I have found, for me at least, Fiverr has been decent for things like graphics. If I need an image done or that type of thing, I've found some good people on Fiverr who have done that. My virtual assistants, like my project managers and stuff, those all come from Upwork. Okay, that's where I go to find them. Now, the last one that I'm going to share with you, hold on, guys, because I just did the wrong thing. 1 second. In sharing my screens, I shared the wrong thing. Hold on. Got to do that again. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's still the wrong thing. Hold on, guys. It's the computer is great when you use it correctly, and I am clearly not using mine correctly right now. What is it that I'm trying to share here? This. No, I did it wrong again. Well, let me just tell you about this last one. So this last one, which I will get to as soon as I can do this right. There we go. I did it right this time. Is onlinejobs.ph. So this is a Filipino job board for hiring someone from the Philippines. Onlinejobs.ph is great if and you have to know that you're hiring someone from the Philippines, and there are cultural differences between every other culture and the Philippines, and vice versa, right? Anytime you're hiring someone overseas, you have to know that there are going to be cultural differences and be prepared for that. So for me, I like onlinejobs.ph and dealing with the cultural differences there because they're all Filipino. And so culturally, I'm dealing with roughly all the same culture versus, I don't typically do the worldwide search on Upwork because I can get people from 5 different cultures and they all communicate differently. And that just drives me nuts. Okay. Whereas here, all my applicants, they're all going to be from the Philippines. The thing that I like about onlinejobs.ph is you can post your job on here. So you can create an account, which is free as an employer. You can post your job on here. However, in order to correspond with anyone, you do have to pay. So Upwork and Fiverr, as the employer, you don't pay until the job is done. Or in Upwork's case, well, actually with both of them, they take the money before they put it in escrow, but you don't pay unless you've hired somebody, right? Whereas onlinejobs.ph, as the employer, you pay to use their site and communicate back and forth to decide which person you want to hire. And they're very blunt on the site as well. Once you've hired your person, cancel your subscription. They tell you that. They say, no need to pay us a monthly fee if you found the person that you love. Just go ahead and cancel. It's about $70 a month to do that. So it gives you a different opportunity and option if you're looking to hire offshore work and specifically work from the Philippines. So these are the 3 that I use. You can find really great technical people on all 3 of those to do different types of things. Be patient with it. And the thing here, guys, is they're consultants. If you hire them and you don't like them, fire them. If it costs you $150, I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, I spent $150. Yeah, okay. Move on. Try again. Stop crying over small potatoes. And I mean that bluntly. Stop crying over small potatoes because you're crying over, I hired somebody and they weren't good and I wasted $150. Well, think about it this way. You learned some lessons that you can use, okay, in the future. All right. Think about it from that perspective. The other side of it is, and I ought to make this point really clearly too. If you're hiring from any of these 3 sites, that you're hiring from, it is vitally important that you are clear about what you're looking for. And you give clear instruction and you think through what it is that you want them to do. Now, I understand we're talking about technical SEO, so you may not know all the technical jargon and that type of thing, but this is not the time to hide information from them. You need to tell them everything that you know and give them an example of what it is that you want in the end, or what the problem is that you need fixed very, very clearly, and get their questions and answer them so that you're communicating well. Okay. I can tell you that about 80% of the people that I've hired where I wasn't happy in the end, it wasn't because they weren't good. It was because I gave bad instruction. And I had to be honest with myself about that. And so even though the relationship may have ended, I had to stop and say, you know what? You just spent $200 and it didn't work out. And it didn't work out because you didn't do this or you didn't do that. And I had to be honest with Atiba about that. And you're going to have to do the same thing. And it's just going to help you learn to manage people better, which is in business a great thing anyway. Okay. So those are 3 sites for you guys. Check them out. If you've got questions about it, yeah, stop crying over, but small potatoes. Stop crying over small potatoes. Look, 150. Look, yes, Josh, I'm going to put you up on the screen for that. Small potatoes, $150 is small potatoes. Come on now. Were y'all in business to only make $150? Seriously, let's be real for a moment. Okay? Let's be real for a moment. All right? It's small potatoes. Take the chance. Stop being cheap. Oh, let me. And I am going to do a video on this separately, but since I just said it and Josh kind of eked it out of me, let me just go ahead and say that you cannot be cheap on your way to the top. Stop it. Stop being cheap in business. I'm not saying waste money. I'm not saying be frivolous. That's not what I'm saying. But I am telling you, stop being cheap in business. Stop being scared to take a chance. Take that chance. Take it. If it fails, you'll learn something. But if it succeeds, you'll be so much further ahead. So guys, jumping off my soapbox on that one for a moment. Like I said, I'm gonna do a whole live on that because it relates to content because your customers feel that when you're cheap. But we'll get to that. Okay, that's coming. Upwork, Fiverr, and onlinejobs.ph. 3 options for you where you can go find technical help. Okay. Won't cost you a ton of money. And if you feel like it's a ton of money because you only paid $50 for your website, then get over yourself. Get over yourself. All right. And at my agency, my clients, when they get a site redone, they pay $25,000 at a minimum. Get over yourself. Stop being cheap. And I'm not saying that you got to be frivolous and go spend that kind of money, but you need work done. Stop trying to do it yourself. Stop trying to say, oh, I got to learn it because I got to know it before I can pass it off. That's crap. Yes, you have to understand what it is you're looking for as an overarching, but beyond that, find somebody who can do it and do the things in your business that only you can do. All right. So I didn't mean to go all into business coaching on that one. Thank you, Josh, for egging me on that. But anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks for being here on Traffic Keys. If you're catching this on a replay, please put replay. I should have said this earlier, but put replay